Alright, what's up? What is going on? Welcome into another episode of America's Hometown Horror.
Boo.
Thanks again for checking in with us. Yes, boo indeed.
Boo to
I
you.
suppose. Boo to you.
Boo.
Happy to you.
Boo.
My name's Mike. I'm the host of the show, and welcome back. Thanks for checking in with us. And as always, we have another jam-packed episode tonight. So let's jump right the fuck on in. And first and foremost, here's where you can find us online if you're interested in such things. First and foremost is our website, which is ahpod.com. It's AHHPOD.com. You can also find us on YouTube and Facebook. Just search for America's Hometown Horror. You'll find our channels there. You can watch all of our episodes on YouTube, and if you want to watch them on Facebook, you can do that too, if that's your thing. You can also tweet at us at Hometown Horror, and we're on Instagram at Hometown Horror Pod, and you can email us at hometownhorrorpodcast@gmail.com.
When you watch them on, is there like are you watching something?
I'm not following what you mean.
She's asking if there's like
Video.
a video of us, but there isn't because there's no video here.
How would there be video of us when there's not a video recording device
Is this
on us?
recording
I don't know
right now?
if you put.
This is recording audio right now. Yes, this is
No, I know,
recording
but
audio
are we
right now.
recording this conversation?
I mean.
So, dear
Well,
listener,
you put up
yes,
the YouTube is videos.
as our co-host of a show that she's been on for nearly 3 years would also like to know.
Her name
it's
is Kat, by the way.
Yeah,
Mike didn't introduce us. I'm Andrew, by the way.
I didn't get to it yet because I was rudely interrupted.
Kat asking if there's videos. Do you see? Is there a camera anywhere? What videos would there be?
I mean, he could put together a video or some sort of video compilation.
Next time-
With what? With what?
With a computer.
With what?
What do you mean?
With the camera that points directly at me the entire episode because I have the computer looking at me the entire time?
That would be kind of funny.
Yeah, would it? Would it be funny?
Mike's POV.
Yes, it'd be really funny. It'd be almost about as funny as you interrupting me in the beginning of this segment. That's how it would be funny. It'd be really funny. Funny, like a fucking clown. I'm here to amuse you. Yeah, great. My co-hosts are here, Andrew and Kat. What's up, you fucking losers? We're also a part of HorrorFacts.com. It's a great website. You should check it out.
He is morbid, Mike.
I
Tonight.
told
Jesus
you.
Christ, can I fucking get through the introduction before I'm rudely interrupted? No, you know the episode's not on video. You can go on YouTube, and it's the sound file with our logo and the logo that I upload for every episode. Any other questions about anything? Jesus
I
Christ.
don't think so.
Yeah.
Not right now.
I'm surprised you
Okay.
came up with that question now. All of a sudden, like we've been doing this for like.
I just didn't know if you
Just randomly comes up with random questions. We've been doing this podcast for almost 3 years last night. And yes, last night she's like, I thought we weren't a movie podcast. Do you remember asking that last night? Did you ask that question?
Do I remember? I mean,
Yeah.
I do.
Okay.
Yes.
Remember?
Jesus Christ almighty. Oh,
I just
God.
thought maybe you would have put some sort of like animation or video with the YouTube.
I can barely even get the two of you to go on live streams. Why would I record you without your knowledge and put it on YouTube
I didn't.
No,
for
you
the
you
world
don't
to
have
see?
to record
She's
me.
saying,
I'm
like, you know how
saying-
people do, like, just, like, random videos
Yeah.
during it? Like, but that still takes time and effort, and what's the point of that? Like, what are you going to put on?
You could put some sort of animated thing on there.
Animated
Kinda
thing?
cool. Yeah, you could like animate our logo and like put all little
Yeah,
pieces
Mike,
of the
you know how to
skeleton
do that,
man
right?
together.
You know how to do that.
Yeah.
That'd be
You know,
kinda cool.
yeah. Aside from writing, recording, editing, and uploading every
Yeah.
episode and managing all the social media, yeah, I totally have time to do
Yeah.
all of the animations for YouTube.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
totally.
Takes like 12 seconds.
I could,
I know,
yeah,
right?
of course,
I don't
yeah.
know
It
why
takes
you're
like 12
complaining about
seconds.
it.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, of course,
I'll
yeah.
get you one
know what?
tomorrow.
I'll get right on that. Just another thing that I can do.
I'll get you one tomorrow.
Excellent.
For you to upload
That's
with
you
the
know that's
YouTubes.
that's phenomenal. Good. Now maybe I can get you to watch one movie a week, and we can
I've watched
do
a
this
couple of
podcast.
movies
Okay.
this week to share.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yes.
Care to share? What were the movies?
Dare to share.
We watched. Well, first off, I wasn't here last week, so I watched the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie.
We'd
It's
already
on
watched
Netflix.
Yeah, we had already watched that a long time
I-
ago.
Did you watch
You,
it?
Andrew, and I
No.
had, but we
I
hadn't-
just
Kat hadn't
watched
watched
it.
it.
You,
yeah.
you were like so excited about that movie.
I
You
know,
never
and it
watched
was on my
too.
watch list, and I watched it.
Oh.
And I wasn't on last week to talk about it, so I watched it. That was a watch.
Bad.
Bad, yeah, very bad, very bad, upsetting.
Two thumbs
Just-
way down.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
that
very
movie
upsetting.
smells. Sucks.
Yeah, and then we watched Freak.
Freaky Friday.
With Vince Vaughn.
It's called Freaky. Yes, it's called Freaky.
It's not Freaky Freak.
As like a play on Freaky Friday. Yes, it's a movie called Freaky. It's a Blumhouse movie. We watched it
Yeah.
the other night. Yes,
How's
Yeah.
that?
it
It
sucked.
was
Really?
Yeah, it was stupid.
I kind of liked it. I thought it was funny. Well,
It's a gorier Happy Death Day to you.
Oh, well, that makes 100%.
It's a Blumhouse movie, which
Yeah.
the more and more you said this the other night, the more and more I think about it, I kind of fucking hate Blumhouse. I really
Yeah,
kind
I
of.
they're
like
all the
Blumhouse.
worst.
Yeah, and see, there you go. Therein lies the issue.
Yeah.
And it all comes to a head. Now we know.
I mean, if
Yeah.
only The Shallows was a Blumhouse
Should be called
movie.
Dumbhouse.
There was something else I watched, too.
I mean, Freaky was okay. So it was an interesting concept. I mean, that's what Blumhouse is doing now, is they're taking like teeny bopper movie ideas and turning them into horror movies, which, again, as I've said on numerous occasions, I guess I like it, the fact that, bless you,
Sorry.
cool. I like it in the fact that they're trying to turn, a certain demographic of fans onto horror movies, but they're not for the hardened, hardcore horror fans.
Right.
Nice alliteration,
Yeah,
baby.
that
Hardcore
I would
horror.
say that we are. By the way, since I was thrown off, Matt's not here. By the way,
Yeah.
Matt has this week off. He has
Threw
some
him
other
all
stuff
off.
going on. So
Yes.
way to go, Kat! Continuing to just make everything great.
Wow.
So what else did you watch besides Freaky and the shitty Texas Chainsaw Massacre sequel?
I think there was something else, but I can't remember.
We also watched all 3 episodes of the John Wayne Gacy tapes.
That's what it
very good.
was.
Oh my
yes.
Dude, fucked.
It's so fucked up. Talk about
Yeah.
another movie that's a feel-good barrel, another documentary series that's a feel-good barrel of laughs.
Oh,
Holy shit.
That was awful.
That was like, honestly,
Hard to
probably
watch.
one of the most disturbing things I've watched in recent times. He was just such a sick fuck.
Yeah.
A disgusting human being, and it's just insane what you could get away with and the leeway you
my
had
God.
back in, even
There's
back
like, what, 40 years ago?
ago.
And
Yeah.
it's still like, now it's like you couldn't do anything.
right.
No.
Let alone back then, they're just like, oh, yeah, that's John.
Yeah.
Does that.
Well, now they said
Yeah.
that there's still bodies to recover. They're trying to recover. They
Yeah,
just
probably.
haven't
'Cause he
found
put so much
them.
lime on them.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, what was it? 29 bodies recovered from his basement alone,
There's like 9.
and then not even mentioning the bodies that he dumped in that river.
How did
like,
anybody live in that house? The stench, I know he had it covered, but like, there would still be an
No,
odor.
yeah.
There would be a smell, yeah.
A significant smell that no one else noticed.
There would be like a very stronger than strong BO scent, like the BO car.
Like, I smell when my
Seinfeld.
cat takes a piss, and that's gross. This is
Shout out
dead
to,
bodies
Shout out to Seven Costanza buyers.
beneath the floorboards.
Right?
Yeah. Did you have anything else besides those that you watched? I think that pretty much covers it. I know we definitely watched that
We
last
finished
Friday
Stranger
night.
Things.
Yes, I was
I
going
don't know
to
if
say
you
I did
talked
have
about
that
that.
written down. So what? So now that we have all finished Stranger Things,
Except for Matt.
Except for Matt. Well, Matt's not here. This is a good opportunity to talk about this. So, Matt, if you're listening back, skip ahead a few minutes and come back after you've finished Stranger Things 4. What did we think? What is our Stranger Things 4 exit survey here?
I mean,
Strengths?
I gave my thoughts a couple weeks ago.
Well, we didn't go into spoiler territory.
Oh,
though.
spoiler
Oh,
territory.
you want to talk sport?
I mean, briefly. I mean, we can't like.
I think, well, once it all finally ends, we
Yeah.
owe a full episode to this entire
Right.
So we'll have a week from this Friday. The final 2 episodes will be out.
wait.
And the way it ends is phenomenal. I will say, I think the only thing that was kind of annoying was how long most of the episodes were. It was like a minor problem, but
did
they were so
did
good.
they even feel long?
They're all essentially like short movies, every single one of them. But the horror elements were the strongest in this season, more than they've ever been. And I thought that the characters were good, mostly. The villain is fantastic. I love that they kind of changed it up this season, and the villain is a sentient being.
Yes.
With Vecna. And I mean, if you haven't seen it yet, when you find out who Vecna actually is pretty.
Oh, it's
pretty fucking
wild.
awesome.
So good.
So I can't ask a question about it now.
You can ask any
Okay,
question.
Yeah,
I'll
we're in
just-
spoilers for
okay.
Stranger Things 4 right
The
now, so ask away.
Orderly,
Yes, number 1.
number 1.
Mm-hmm.
Where else was he in? Was he in some sort of like Tim Burton, like Alice in Wonderland kind of thing?
I don't know. Don't you have Google?
recognize him from somewhere. I didn't know if
You
anyone.
could have looked this up.
But
like,
you
when
guys always know. Oh, that person's from this person, or that person's from
He's
whatever.
some nerd
He
from other
was
movie. I don't
from
know.
something. And
I know
because he
he's
has
a-
very like pronounced, like structured.
He does.
I know he's a British actor, as is the actor that plays Eddie Munson. They're both British. And I think he was in... What was the other... I don't know. You're looking it up right now. So
Jamie
you tell
Campbell?
Me. Jamie
Bauer?
Yeah, that's the name. I don't know what else he's been in, but he's been in a few other things.
I need that in the form of a question, please, Kat. Jamie Foreman. Bauer.
Who is Jamie Campbell Bauer?
Okay, that sounds about right. What else has he been in?
He's been in Sweeney Todd.
Oh,
Okay.
there's your
Immortal
Tim Burton movie.
Instruments. Twilight Saga. He was in Harry Potter Deathly Hallows.
Okay,
Part
so
one.
I had seen that
So
he was
he's
in
definitely
Harry
been in
Potter.
a lot of stuff.
Yeah, he's been in some stuff, but not. I actually have never seen Sweeney Todd. I'm not a big Harry Potter fan, so this is the first time I obviously Twilight, not my demographic. This is the first time I had ever seen him in anything, and obviously with with the twist with his character, it's very interesting, and I can't wait to see where this season ends, and ultimately where the last season is going to kick off. Because the Duffer Brothers have said that they think that there's going to be a significant time jump between seasons 4 and 5.
Ooh, interesting.
So we'll see how it goes.
This is the best. The underneath
upside down
world.
Jesus.
Upside down
world. Yeah.
This is the best you get to see.
You've been
of
hanging
the
around
upside
Cat
down
too
world.
long. The place to be.
The place,
Yes.
The place to be. Yes.
Those are the best scenes. Some of them.
Yeah. So I guess overall, what did you think was the best part? Did you think there was a worst part? Anything that didn't work as well as you hoped it would?
I thought the Vecna storyline was
Vecna was the best part. I thought
Yeah.
that was a really cool part, and I thought that there were certain characters that were underutilized, for sure. A couple different. I think I have absolutely no use for the Byers brothers, or actually the entire Byers family anymore. To be honest with you,
Wow.
This is rude.
Wow, that's very rude.
not you,
Really?
not you.
Yeah.
You just gonna
go right out and say that. Wow.
My last name is Byers.
Wow.
cut that sound clip and save it for
Wow.
future use. I should say.
For future losers.
Jonathan, Will, and Joyce Byers have all turned into terrible characters.
They're the worst. They're the
Yeah.
weak link. in the
They
show.
suck so bad. I mean, I get what they're trying to do with Will, and I know that they've said that his sexuality is supposed to be up for interpretation, but I think it's very clear that he's in love with Mike and he's jealous of Mike and Eleven, and I get that whole thing, but Jonathan Byers is useless. I'm so sick of his
he's
character.
barely in it.
I wish he'd
Yeah.
fucking die and go away. The only good thing about that whole storyline was that stoner fucking kid. What was his name? The
he's
friend,
awesome.
the pizza delivery guy. He's
He was
good.
awesome, yeah.
Honestly, that kind of takes me to some of the strengths I think from this season. The new characters they introduced: Eddie
Yeah.
Munson,
Eddie's awesome.
and the surfer guy from Jonathan's friend,
Yep.
whose name is escaping me right now. I love that they brought in Jock and Hagar from Game of Thrones as the
Oh,
Russian
yeah.
prison guard. That was pretty cool. Vecna
like
is obviously
Dustin's-
an awesome new addition.
Dustin's girlfriend's pretty cool.
Dustin's girlfriend, seeing her in person for
She's
the first
pretty
time was
funny.
really good. I mean, well, you saw her in person in season 3, but seeing her character interact with other characters was
Yeah.
awesome. Steve Harrington continues to be a stud, the fucking man. Nancy needs to go away from him because Nancy stinks and he deserves a better girl than Nancy Harrington.
like
She
Nancy.
fucking blows. She's the worst.
No, I
And
like
she already dumped him for that loser Jonathan Byers. So Nancy.
Well,
can
they're
go
actually
fucking
dating in real
pound
life, aren't
sand. Nancy and Jonathan Byers are actually dating in real life.
So that's probably why Jonathan Byers is still on the show, because she was probably like,
Yeah,
well,
probably
if you
like,
don't
well,
keep him, I'm not going to
keep him around.
Yeah.
And
maybe.
They probably would have killed him off a long time ago.
So Joe
Yeah.
Keery, who plays Steve, is dating the main girl that was in It Follows. And also she was in Don't Breathe.
Okay.
Micah Monroe
the
is her
blonde
name.
girl?
The blonde girl. Yeah. So that's a good looking couple right there. The two.
Yeah.
So yeah, Stranger Things 4 fucking rocks. And
he's in love
no, they're
with
He
Steve.
loves
Jesus
Steve.
Christ.
Steve.
He's a good character.
He's your
a
profile
good-
picture.
He's a good character, Steve Harrington, all right?
He's so good. He's
So
your
I might have a
profile
man
picture.
crush on Steve Harrington as a 35-year-old man.
It's all right.
That's okay.
Kat
It's
has
all right.
a crush on
Blake
the
Lively.
lead of our.
That's
Yeah.
true. That's true. That is true. Yeah, so Stranger Things 4, we all recommend it very highly. If you haven't finished it yet, you still have some time before the rest of the episodes drop next week.
But I like that it had the horror elements more so.
Huge
Before.
influence from
So,
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Would you say then, is this up there with True Detective season 1?
I can't put it there yet.
No?
I have to see it.
Well, yeah, I have to know
see
what
the end of
is.
it.
Yeah.
I have to see the end of it.
So far, though, pretty close.
It's very good. I feel like there are elements they could have cut out of this season. I feel like little things to make it a little bit shorter. I feel like True Detective season 1 is as perfect as 8 episodes of television can
It's
get.
hard to
Yeah.
match that.
In my opinion. Also, speaking of which, next week you also get. This week we get the Black Phone, which we will be
Yeah.
covering
Ring,
next
ring.
Next week, after we see it,
Ring, ring,
can't wait.
ring, ring. Black phone.
getting rave reviews, and it's supposed to be awesome. So I can't wait to fucking see it. And actually, coincidentally, a Blumhouse movie.
Yeah.
Sinister was Blumhouse.
Sinister was Blumhouse.
The only difference is, so
Yeah.
Blumhouse wasn't always this bad.
So I think, you know what?
Bad.
Over the years, Blumhouse sucks. Over the years,
Okay.
let's go. If we went through a list of their movies, for the last 10 years. Progressively worse.
Funny that you mentioned that. So I think what we should do, since you brought this up the other night, Kat, and it annoyed the fucking shit out of me.
Good, it
Because
should've.
we've done a lot of movies lately. You are correct in that sense. We haven't done like since our draft episodes, which we did drafting stuff for like a month. So I don't like that was movie
But
drafts.
they were
like,
movies.
Yeah.
They weren't phobias,
Yeah.
which,
we should do
Something.
a best. I don't know if it'll be the official title, but like a best and worst of Blumhouse
Yeah.
episode. I think that would be pretty interesting because there are some terrible Blumhouse movies, and I looked through the list today. There are some classics. I mean,
there's
Get Out,
yeah,
Sinister,
there's-
like
So there's a lot of gems in there. So we
lot
should
of
do
gems.
each round. You pick one best, worst each round.
Yeah.
We do like you could probably do 3 rounds.
with four
That's
of us
12. That's 12 movies.
Yeah, that's fair.
here. Okay. All
Because
right.
you're not going to talk about them in depth. It's pretty much a draft.
Yeah. Well, we could figure out some sort of
I like that, though.
format, something
Yeah.
like that. But yeah, I thought that would be an interesting thing to do. So maybe we'll have that coming up in the coming weeks. Maybe after we do our review of The Black Phone, we can do that as a little bit of a reprieve from movie reviews. Oh, what do you know? You want the fan back on now. How about that? Also, I would be remiss if I did not give a special thank you again to our buddy Tony from Spooktacular the Movie, who was kind enough to join us on our bonus episode that we dropped last week, where we caught up with him after their trip to Monsterpalooza out in LA for the premiere of their film. Everything went great. They had an awesome panel out there. And if you were lucky enough to be at Monsterpalooza and saw the movie, good for you. It got rave reviews coming out of it. And the next time that we may see it, it may be on a streaming service. So stay tuned for that. And if you want to know more about that premiere, I would say go back and listen to our episode with Tony Landry, who is the producer of Spooktacular the Movie and also the host of the official podcast of Spooktacular, Spooky 101, because I know there are more episodes of that show coming down the pipeline as well. Andrew, anything that you would like to talk about that you watched, aside from the things that we've talked about already?
I watched Possessor again, and then I watched Butcher.
Again? Oh my God.
I was bored and I was high as fuck, and I was like, I'm just gonna throw this on. I had to get the bad taste of a certain movie out of my mouth. So
Okay, all right. So I think without further ado, we should probably move on to tonight's movie. Oh wait, are we a movie podcast? And tonight's movie is called The Shallows, which is a 2016 film that stars Blake Lively as a character whose name I don't know. Basically, this is a movie about Blake Lively goes surfing and becomes stranded in a situation where she may or may not be hunted by a very large shark in a struggle for survival. Again, this came out in 2016. And, Kat, this was a movie that you picked. I know you and I had seen it before. This was Andrew's first viewing, also our friend Matt's first viewing. I do have thoughts from Mr. Audette that he wrote a little blurb and emailed it to me, which I can say is one thing that neither of you have ever done when you've missed a podcast episode, is write something in from afar to be read on the air. So A plus for effort from Matt
I
Audette.
don't think I've missed many other than
I think
at
you've
the
missed a
very
couple.
beginning.
You've missed a couple.
First year, first 12 episodes. Since then, I haven't missed a shit.
That's true. That's true. I'm not saying you've both missed
So
many.
let's
but
bite that tongue, bitch.
But Matt went the extra mile, and he gets the A for effort, I would say.
Teacher's pet.
Uh-huh.
Matt, you're a teacher's pet. Just kidding. Love you, buddy.
So good job, Matt. Good job.
Love you, buddy.
So, Kat, I will defer to you. Obviously, you did pick this movie. It's a favorite of yours. I would
did.
say it is a movie that is so far up your fucking alley. It's like, it's not even funny. Like, yeah. Just talk to me about The Shallows before dissenting opinions interlope, in your opinion, okay?
Well, it's about the main girl, Blake Lively, who's awesome in Gossip Girl, who's awesome in The Town. She's great. She's married to Ryan Reynolds, has a couple kids, looks like a fun girl. She's beautiful. She's kind of perfect. She's kind of my girl crush.
So,
She's awesome.
Yeah, so you have a girl crush on Blake Lively.
Yes.
Okay.
But also in this movie, it's nice. It's like, she's traveling back to this island. She's going back to this island where her mom found out she was pregnant when she used to surf and go to the beach. And her mom died from cancer, and she now is going back to kind of relive her mom's dream, and gets, pretty much fast forward a little bit, she gets attacked by a shark and spends the movie on a rock trying to figure out how to live.
Yes, I remember the plot.
Yes.
I watched the film. Yes.
Yeah.
You remember the 12-second plot to this movie?
Yes,
Cool.
yes,
I
did.
That's
Yes.
why this is a cat movie.
Yes.
Yes.
Very quick and to the point.
So what did you like about it?
Everything. It has the nice aspect of like.
Nice. It rephrased that.
Nice
aspect.
Yes.
That's what you almost literally just
Yeah.
said that. You were like aspect.
You know,
Yes.
it is funny because I did notice that there were several camera shots that were clearly angled
Just
to
at her
focus
butt.
on certain aspects of Blake Lively.
Yes.
Smart move by the director, for sure. I mean, go ahead, continue.
But the struggle is real. I like the it's
The
a
struggle is real.
Like getting up on a Monday every day, Mike. That's the worst. No, you know what's way worse? This is not the struggle. The struggle is going to work, going through your day. This is different than the struggle.
The
So
struggle is real. She's, got bit by a shark. She's on a rock.
that's not a struggle.
Kicking
That's
in,
death.
Kicking in like her, background on her medical school. Like all of a sudden, like all the gore. I had to look away when she's stitching herself up because that was just disgusting. But like, it's Jaws, pretty much, kind of.
There
Can
is
we- can we not?
absolutely
Elements.
there are 1,000 things that this movie is, and not even within 18,000 miles of this movie is anything Jaws related
There's a shark.
ever. That is the only thing the only connective tissue.
there's
to
one other
Jaws.
connective tissue when Blake Lively blatantly rips off a line from Jaws, but it's not blatantly because it's not the same. But there's a part in the movie where she goes, where he pops up, like when she's gonna throw whatever the fuck
Right.
stupid thing she did. She
She's
goes,
shooting
fuck off.
shoots the
so
flare
instead
gun
of
in his
smile,
mouth.
you son of
Yeah.
a bitch, she says
Yeah,
fuck off. Like you
yeah.
might as well. It's 100% a rip off.
Yeah.
Or I would say that obviously they knew that was supposed to be
Or it was an homage.
Yeah.
Yeah. So to your point, I would agree. Like, yeah, we can certainly relate to having a giant chunk out of our leg by a shark
Right.
and being
That's
one of
the
the
struggle.
hottest, being one of the
really-
hottest people on Earth and one of the most beautiful locations
I
on
love
Earth
watching them
on a
surf
rock
with the
a
waves.
seagull and just
The
being there.
seagull?
I thought this is one of the most relatable movies I've ever seen, for sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
The seagull is kind of an underrated character in this whole thing.
Steven Seagal.
Even though she fixed his wing, he sticks right by her the whole time, and is there when
Because
she
he
wakes up
has
on the
nowhere to
beach.
go.
No, she fixed his wing, and he didn't leave her.
Well, I think he
Because
was.
he's a seagull, and he goes, the only way I'm getting out of here is flying. Please don't put me on this floating device where I might get eaten by a shark. So I think the seagull was cool just staying there.
Yeah.
Well, she also put him on a floating piece of surfboard,
No, I know, that's what I'm
hoping that
saying.
the shark would go for him so
that's
she
what
could dive and
That's what I'm
escape,
saying,
right?
though. So the seagull wasn't doing anything out of the ordinary. He was going, I'm a fucking seagull. My
Yeah.
wing doesn't work.
Yeah.
What am I going to do? He wasn't sticking by her side.
I think he was.
He was actually yelling at her the whole time. And you know what happened? You know what it means when a seagull squawks?
What?
It means get out of my area. This is like that's why they are constantly just yelling. Is because what they're basically saying to the other seagulls is get away from me.
Right.
It's my spot. I want the fish. Mine.
Mine.
How anybody
Just
knows
like
what
in Finding Nemo.
knows what a seagull is actually saying? I would love to know. I want the science behind that, but that is what I Google said it.
You like
Yeah,
birds.
Google said
I
it.
Googled it, so it's got to be real.
I mean, I would say that the seagull is essentially her version of Wilson from Tom
Yes.
Hanks's character in
Yeah.
Castaway. Yeah, like she
Can we
has,
again? We're comparing this to great movies. Can we stop doing that? Castaway, Jaws, The Shallows. One of these things is not like the other.
This movie this movie is a lesser interpretation of other great movies. Yes, for sure. But I would say
But it's not even.
All
it's,
kidding,
I will
all-
give you a way better
You
comparison.
could
for
even
this
say
movie.
it's found footage with GoPro.
It almost was, but it wasn't because
Little bit.
outside of that part,
He found the footage on the beach. Found footage.
okay.
Blair Witch Project.
All right. So I was just
Blake Lively project.
all right. Before my annoyance kicks in, all kidding aside, because I do like to make fun of you, this isn't a horrible movie. You and I had seen it the first time we did, and it's a passable shark movie. If you are a heterosexual male and you find Blake Lively attractive, I think this is going to help your enjoyment of this movie. It's a shark movie. I'm a guy that's obsessed with Jaws. It's one of my favorite movies of all time, if not my favorite movie of all time. So I have gravitated towards things about sharks for my entire life. Any cheesy B horror shark movie, I will watch. I will watch anything that's on Shark Week. I have wanted to my entire life, but never followed through, to go in a shark diving cage with great whites off the Cape at some point in my life. We've been to the the Atlantic Great White Shark Conservatory Museum in Chatham. I fucking love sharks, so I love everything with sharks. I collect Jaws memorabilia. I have Jaws t-shirts. I have a Jaws bathing suit.
You have Jaws sneakers.
I have Jaws DVDs. I have Jaws Sperry's. I have Jaws everything. So, I like shark movies, and this is a decent shark movie, and that's about as much of a compliment as I can give it. If you're looking to unwind for an hour and a half and have a good time, and just kind of turn your brain off and watch sharks eat stupid people that are thin characters, you'll have a good time. If you're looking for, fucking Citizen Kane, you're not going to get it. But it's Blake Lively in a wetsuit, in a bikini, on a rock, trying to fight off a shark. That is bleeding out. Which, by the way, she would have been long dead.
We're not even into nitpicks yet.
Dead.
First thing I was thinking in the first half hour of this movie is, I'm like, you are dead.
Yeah.
You should be dead.
Yes.
But still you're not.
But
You still look really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would
Your
think,
leg is black.
Yeah.
Not even
your
your
leg
leg,
is black.
bitch. You
And
just
then,
look
I'm not
good.
even to mention the fact she gets stung by a jellyfish too, so her arm's all fucked up and veiny and poisonous, and she still looks like a fucking runway model.
Yeah.
Because she's Blake Lively, and it's a movie.
Right.
Because movie. So, I would be remiss if I did not mention that I feel like my backhanded compliments will sound like heaping praise compared to Andrew's thoughts in this movie. If your text messages to us while watching last night were any indication, whether it was the influence of the edibles that you had taken or just your incoherent rage while watching. So, please elaborate for us.
I don't know if I'd call it incoherent rage.
Coherent
it was
rage.
Slightly coherent.
Yes.
A couple letters. So I'm glad I got that out of my system, because most of those things you shouldn't say to people other than your bestest of friends. Nothing wrong with what I said. Just a bit brash. So on a tone down level, this is essentially, so there's a reason, like you said, like if you want to turn off your brain for enough, this is what makes this a cat pick through and through. Because Cat's brain is never on. So if you can watch a movie where it's turned off already, then you don't have to pay attention. You can be doing this the whole time, catching Pokemon and
I'm talking to Amber about cookies.
My point exactly. If you can be on your phone, this is the perfect movie if you don't want to actually watch what's going on, because you could read a brief 3-sentence synopsis of the movie and it would be all, oh, that was the movie.
Yes.
Cool. I missed nothing. I mean, you missed Blake Lively, which this isn't a shark movie. Like, this is a Blake Lively movie. This is not a shark, because the shark looked terrible.
The shark doesn't
The
look
CGI
great.
in this movie is absolute trash. The jellyfish scene was the most corny thing I've ever seen. Like, this shark made the Jaws shark look like a great white.
Honestly, you know what? The animatronic shark in Jaws does not look that horrible.
No, it doesn't look that bad.
It looks fake.
It looks less fake than this shark.
1,000 times scarier than this shark.
This shark was not scary because it was in a poor video game. It might as well have been like Lara Croft Tomb Raider. The CGI from like 1999. The CGI was trash in this movie.
Yeah.
And then...
Yeah, not great. Not
Or
great.
even like the shark in the wave when you first saw it.
This movie is essentially a fucking Calvin Klein or Dior commercial, with just some babe walking around on the beach, and then nothing happens.
Speaking of which, what did you think the budget was for this movie?
Probably way too much.
Because they filmed a lot in the pool.
See, that's tough to say.
Not
That was so they.
Guess.
I'm gonna say 68 million.
Higher or lower than 68
I don't
million?
know. I don't know what regular number.
How much lower? Pick a number. Pick a number. Pick a number.
6 million.
Okay, well, it's higher than 6 million.
Okay.
It was a $17 million budget.
I was closer.
And actually returned pretty well at the box office, $119.1 million.
This is
Because
Blake
you know what?
Lively.
The movie's called The Shallows, and this movie lives up to its name in the fact that the people that created this movie specifically took the phrase "sex sells" and they went, sex sells. This movie was good and popular at the box office for no other reason other than the fact that Blake Lively was in it in a bikini with her ass being on camera, like zoomed in half the time. The first 30 minutes of this movie is literally her running around on a beach.
Well, I feel like it would be what's the word I'm looking for? It would be pretentious of us to mention that this is like the first time that has ever happened before. See any horror movie from the 80s, or like, Jessica Biel in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake, or
those movies
any
have
other
substance,
thing
though.
like
But
that.
it's also a summer horror movie.
I'm just getting
horror
to the
movies
beginning.
do well.
No. I agree.
He's saying we're talking
wholeheartedly.
shit about it for just starring up.
It's a huge element of the movie, but it's not like the first time it's ever been done. Clearly, like
Yeah, but other things, nothing happens in this movie.
Yeah,
other than her
she
trying
wins.
to get away from the shark.
So
it's so boring.
So what you're trying to say is that you were not invested in Blake Lively's journey. So actually, her name is Nancy Adams. You weren't invested in Nancy's personal journey for self growth and self-discovery after the death of her mother.
You know what movie I like better because it's based off a true story, very similar though, is 127 Hours, James Franco.
I actually thought about that movie when I was watching this.
That's what I thought about immediately, except that's a true story. Mm-hmm. But it's the same idea. You're trapped by yourself. No one's coming to save you. You have to, to myself, you have to figure it out. But that's a good movie. But that's also the same thing because it's James Franco, who's eye candy for women, by himself in an entire movie. Except he's not wearing a bikini. He's cutting his arm off.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Well, he got canceled too, I think.
Yeah,
for being a fucking
shit.
creep.
Yeah.
But yeah. So
I mean, I think do you have in your notes when this came out? Like
2016.
in the summer?
I can tell you.
This
Keep
had to
going.
be in the
Yeah.
No, it came out in December.
I mean, I would assume it would
release
be in the
date
summer.
was June 21st of 2016.
Right.
Oh, look at that. We're doing it on the anniversary.
Holy fuck, is that right?
Wait,
Yeah. This is the 6-year anniversary because today is
my
the 21st.
God.
today's the 21st.
It is.
We didn't even plan that.
Oh,
Actually,
oh my
meant to do.
god! Oh my god!
Has that ever happened in our how many years of podcast? How many episodes? Do you think
I don't-
we've ever accidentally
I don't
done
think
that?
so, and of course it
Wow.
happens for the shallows.
And it's the cat episode.
Well,
cat
because now it gives us something to talk about.
Yeah.
Something other than this bad movie.
yeah.
That's cool.
Fun stuff.
June 21st, 2016.
Yeah. Okay.
6 years later.
So, I really don't think that there's not a lot of depth to this movie. So I'll ask you
Other than
this.
the ocean.
Other than the ocean.
Which is actually lacking in depth.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this.
Is the shallows.
Obviously,
right.
Okay. So actually, and Jaws, by the way, yesterday was the 40th anniversary of the Jaws release. I saw that a bunch of people were watching it and posting about it. So I think it was 40 years ago, or 40-something years ago, yesterday, as of this recording, that Jaws came out.
Cool.
Why is nobody else in Hollywood able to get a shark movie right, other than Steven Spielberg did with Jaws? Obviously, I understand that Jaws is a perfect film. It's a perfect feat of filmmaking. It's a miracle, given all the troubled production they had, that they were able to pull off what they did. It was the first summer blockbuster, right? Yep. It was the first summer blockbuster. But why has nobody else been able to get a shark movie right ever since?
They don't want to compete with Jaws.
I think Open Water's
Open Water's that's what
That's
I
about
had
as
like
close
for
as you
me
can get to being a good one.
like Open Water and maybe like Deep Blue Sea.
I was gonna say Deep Blue Sea, but I thought you would
But
yell
that's like
at
a whole
me.
other. What you didn't like the Meg?
I have love for Deep Blue Sea. So I consider the Meg about on the same level as Deep Blue Sea.
Yeah, it's the same idea. for a
Corny,
movie.
cheesy
Corny.
shit. Like
But it doesn't have
Jaws,
Samuel Jackson in it.
Jaws and Open Water are probably the only two like legit scary shark movies.
But let's
I
be
think,
real.
that
How
are
many
out there.
actual shark movies are there?
I mean, more than you'd think. I know there's 47 meters down.
Sharknado.
Sharknado. Those are fucking joke movies.
They're meant to be stupid.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I could get you a list if
The
you guys
Meg.
want to keep talking
No,
about
no,
it.
no,
I mean,
no,
You
I
can't
mean,
do like Shark versus T-Rex because
No.
those movies
Right.
don't count.
No,
Those
I
are
mean-
just fucking silly.
I mean, but why? Obviously, I think it's because Jaws is perfect. But like, yeah, okay, let's see. I mean, Deep Blue Sea, The Meg, Sky Sharks,
Yeah,
Jaws
then
the
you get
Revenge,
into
The
easily.
Reef, Bait.
Oh,
The Reef. I don't know if
The
I ever
Reef,
saw
I don't
The
think I've
Reef.
seen that
I
one.
think I saw the Reef.
Shark Night, Sharknado, The Deep, which The Deep isn't even a shark movie, if I remember correctly. That's another Peter Benchley. Let's see.
So,
what
just
else?
looking quickly, there's not a lot, right?
47 meters down, Uncaged. Like, they're all trash.
Yeah.
They're all trash.
Well, because no one
Peter
wants...
Benchley, not to be confused with Peter Sofa.
Or Peter Dinklage.
Oh, see what you did there.
Some bad jokes.
See what you did there.
I don't know why I said
see
Peter
what you
Dinklage.
did there.
I like
Mine
Peter.
was
I mean,
better.
obviously there are some movies that are homages to Jaws that do it successfully. Like, I know Crawl. Like, Crawl you watched recently. I heard
That's
you
a
said
good
that
movie,
was
but
good.
that's an alligator.
It's an alligator movie. But, like, why
Lake
can
Placid,
nobody else?
alligator movie.
Why can
Anaconda,
nobody else?
snake movie.
Why is there no second...
Sesame Street, Big Bird.
Why is there no second classic shark movie? Is it just that Steven Spielberg did it
It's
so much better than
no, I
anybody
just
else
think it's
could do
such
it?
a hard thing to. So here's my problem. Yes, did I find this movie scary? Not really at all.
No.
You know why? Because here's two things I'm never doing. First off, I am never going surfing.
Right.
Never gonna happen.
Oh,
Also, I'm never going in the ocean past like my nipples. So that's not. I can't believe I went scuba diving or snorkeling once when I was like 18 in like the Caribbean. That idea, the thought of that right now is so horrifying to me. I would never jump in just to the middle of the ocean. Fuck that. There's sharks and scary. There's jellyfish.
Yeah.
So I will
Barracudas.
never be in this position. So this movie is not scary. Also, I will never be wearing a bikini with a fine sun-kissed bottom like fucking Blake Lively. So I'm not worried about any of this ever happening. I just had to get in.
So I used to go night swimming in Green Harbor over my head.
That doesn't count.
Yeah.
Yes, it does. How does that not count?
There's great whites in
That absolutely counts.
Only in like the past like 10 years.
No, they've always been there. They just don't start tracking them in the past 10 years. They've always been.
But how many people have been eaten by one?
Well, they don't go after. They don't actually like people. They eat. They attack people by accident.
It's still horrifying, and the reason
It's
for
absolutely
that
horrifying.
is because of Jaws.
Oh, you know what I just realized too? So when I was younger, like in like the late 90s, 2000s, we used to go to the Beachcomber in Wallfleet all the time.
Oh yeah.
And there'd be like those seals out there.
Oh yeah.
And we
Yeah.
do like body surfing with the seals. So
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure if there's seals there,
they're sharks, yep.
They're sharks.
Yeah.
That's correct.
That was
They
like
just
also
never- yeah.
other scary things. So when we lived in Georgia, we went to our friend's house. They lived in Savannah, and we pond.
Oh, you've told me this
Whatever
story before.
you want to call it. And I was like 6 years old in my fucking little fucking.
Oh, trigger warning if you like dogs, by the way, because I've heard this.
Yeah.
Oh no.
So we used to go swimming in the little lake. We didn't know any better. We were from Massachusetts. We moved down there with people who talk about life. And so we go over there like 3 weeks after this. And I'm like, oh, where's your dog? I'm like, oh, it got eaten by a gator in the lake right there. A pond or lake. And I was like, oh, my mom was like, my children were
Just
swimming in
swimming
there. And I would be like, just a kibble for this.
Oh my god.
I mean, I don't mean to make light of it. Horrible story. There was a child that was eaten by an alligator
In
at
Disney World.
Disney
yeah.
World.
At the Floridian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could you imagine? That's
No.
So we
No.
want to talk about fears, phobias. My biggest fear is being eaten alive by anything. That sounds terrible. Like,
But people forget they're like, even though they're in Disney World, they're still in Florida. There's still alligators. They
Yeah,
can't
but
control the natural
that's
habitat
true.
of alligators.
but you are at Disney World, so you just assume that you're. They should be monitoring the alligators
course.
in Disney World.
Of course.
They're
I mean,
charging you enough money
Yeah.
that they should be monitoring that your child
I'm
should
sure
be able to
they-
walk down
100%.
because
Something.
90%,
100%.
95% of the people that come to Florida aren't from that area,
Right.
so they have no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
They don't think that their child's going to be walking outside of a resort and get eaten by an alligator.
Yeah.
That's wild stuff.
Yeah, that's such a sad story. Oh,
Yeah.
I don't mean to laugh at it, but
Yeah.
I'm laughing at the fact that it's so wild that they didn't.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Well, you just
and
have
nobody
this false
did Disney
sense of
World get
security.
sued or anything? Did anything happen?
Oh,
from
I'm
yeah,
sure that family got a very fat check from.
that? Or they didn't even need to
the
get
Walt
sued. It
Disney
was an
Company.
immediate payout, probably. They
Yeah.
were like, yeah.
Yeah, I would say so. I remember there was like right after that happened, there were videos that people put online of in the past they had been at Disney World hotels and they were feeding gators off the docks. So Disney clearly knew that they were there.
Well, yeah, because you have this false sense of security just because you're staying at
least
Disney.
maybe
Because
put
you're
up
in
a
the proximity of fucking Mickey Mouse.
Right.
Like,
you don't
Mickey
think that-
Mouse is gonna save me.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
No,
yeah.
but you just but you're on vacation. You shouldn't have to worry about being eaten by an alligator
You're-
at a resort.
You're
But
1,000%
that's the same as if you
correct.
went on the beach and
No,
anywhere
different.
And,
You know the risks when you go into a beach. When you go to a resort that is called fucking Disneyland is for children.
World.
You should be able to do whatever it is that you want and not have to someone might shoot the place up because that happens all the time. People are fucked.
yeah.
But you should never have to worry about the fact that an alligator is going to eat your child while you're hanging out at your hotel. I'm sorry.
That is, Andrew, you've said a lot of things that I've disagreed with in this podcast. I could not agree with you any more on that. That is the last thing in the back of your mind when you're at Disney World and you're like, oh, my little girl, I'm taking her here for her first vacation. We're going to go to the castle and go on roller coasters, and she just got eaten by a gator.
But that's 'cause
That
they
would
also
never,
they
ever
weren't
cross my
watching her.
mind.
And she was a little girl,
I
and she
get that.
waded
So,
into
yes.
a river.
All right, we should stop talking about this
Like-
because there's a child died. It's really not anything. It's not something we should joke about or make
only
light
people-
of. But
Joking
like
about
The
it.
only
No,
people that
it's-
should be talking about this are the professionals at Fox News and MSNBC.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
Let's leave it
Yes.
to the
Yeah,
pros.
the experts.
The
Yes, the
experts.
experts.
Let's leave it
right?
to the
Yeah,
experts.
The quote unquote experts. All right. So somebody out there, hey, make another great shark movie. Like, hey, Jordan Peele, here's an idea. After your Alien movie this summer, make a fucking shark movie. Make a woke ass shark movie. I'll watch it. I don't give a shit. I'll fucking watch anything. Great. Want to hear thoughts from Matt Audette in The Shallows?
I would love to.
I'd love
Here's
to
a
see
direct
Matt
quote
Adams.
from his email that he sent me. Quote, quite better than I anticipated.
Nice.
Didn't know what exactly it would be going into, but I enjoyed it the way the story played out, being one isolated character in a fight for survival rather than more of a play out like Jaws or Alligator and other famous classic creature features. Definitely more violent than I thought. I would see it a PG-13 flick, because I know his thoughts on PG-13 horror is not very favorable. Especially the earring/necklace stitch job.
Yes.
That was brutal.
It was brutal.
I also kind of felt the movie overall had some potential homages, obviously Jaws in open water, but also possibly the raft segment in Creepshow 2, ? Food for thought, laugh out loud.
Wow.
I didn't see that personally. I think he's just wishful thinking, because that fucking segment rocks.
Yeah.
Did you see anything from the raft? I know you and I
I'm
both
trying
loved
to
that.
think. I don't recall. Really, I didn't. That wouldn't be come up.
I like Matt's thoughts.
Anyway, good insight, Matt. As
Always good.
He always has the best insight. Better than you two ding-dongs.
Oh, wow.
No, you just like it because it's positive.
Right.
Yeah. Because he agrees
Mike
with
was
you.
Matt was
Exactly.
being nice. I feel like Matt was being nice.
No, he likes it. He
I
said he
didn't.
liked
I didn't totally rip it to shreds. I said it was turn
It's
your
not
brain off
okay, so
entertainment.
but it's so it's not a bad movie. Never said it
It's
was a
not a
bad,
bad
movie,
movie.
but it's very clearly just.
Well, it's not a blockbuster movie, but no, it's a good little movie.
I mean, with the amount of money that it made, it could actually be qualified as maybe an early summer blockbuster.
Well, that
Oh,
movie made a lot of money.
yeah.
On a $17 million budget, made 100 and whatever million. That's pretty good. Pretty
Yeah,
good return.
Pretty good. And I mean, not
If
for
they had
nothing,
been able, if they had made that a rated R movie, could done. It would have been much better.
Honestly, and I if Matt were here, he would have a lot to say about this. But there are some good PG-13 and even PG in the 80s, but there was no PG-13, so I don't think those necessarily even count. There's some decent PG-13 movies. Dare I say, some classic PG-13 horror movies out there. Any shark movie is gonna be more beneficial if there's more gore
Yeah.
and gratuitous, excessive, stupid nudity and or stupid bullshit. So I think this would have benefited way more from an R rating than most other movies.
What would you add to it to make it an R rating? What do you think it lacked?
I think
Besides just language.
language and gore. I think they could have showed more of the shark attacks. I think there could have been.
I mean, the guy ripped in half when he's like crawling on the shore. That was
Yeah,
pretty
I mean that was
gory.
actually kind of a lot for a PG-13 movie. I'll give you that. Yeah,
Like they showed him, and then they showed his other half.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I guess you're right. I don't know. I guess I'm just.
The blood on the seagull's wing.
I didn't think it was very gory at all.
No, I mean it was mostly just Blake. Like Blake's leg was pretty.
I just thought she should have died a lot earlier in the movie,
Well, yeah.
and then I would have liked it more because it would have 40 minutes maybe.
I mean, how long was it? Hour and a half, if that.
Yeah, it was about an hour and 40 minutes, I think.
Was it really that long?
I think it was.
I think it was hour 37 maybe.
It was 86 minutes, which means it was an hour and 26 minutes long.
Okay.
Which is about the appropriate length for this movie.
Yeah.
I mean, how much longer could you make it?
No, I would say that was perfect. About perfect. And any more than an hour and a half, this movie would have fucking lost me.
Yeah,
For sure.
it didn't need to be any longer.
Yeah.
It came, it saw, it conquered, it left.
It knew it wasn't Castaway. So
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Want to
She
talk
was
about
stuck on a rock.
Want to talk about some other horror movies that we that came out in the year of our Lord 2016?
Sure.
Some good ones, some
Saw?
not so good ones. There was not a Saw movie that came out in 2016.
That's surprising.
We actually talked about these a few weeks back, pretty recently. You guys have any idea what the two 2016 movies we talked about were
trying
without
to
peeking
peek.
and cheating? You don't have to guess. It's okay.
Was it like on like one of the drafts?
No. We've covered these two movies in dedicated episodes.
2016.
One was very recently.
Very bad
It
with
follows?
years.
No.
No, just recently, huh?
I'll give you a hint. One of them had the most graphic, disgusting kill we've probably ever seen.
Oh, Terrifier.
Terrifier. Yeah, Terrifier was
right.
one, and the other one was The Void.
Those are both 2000.
See, I
Both
never remember
2016.
the year.
That's okay. I'm just a dork and I remember these. We also got The Autopsy of Jane Doe. Great
I like
movie.
that movie.
Very,
we
very
should
good.
talk about that movie on our movie.
We should. We
You know
should
what movie
talk
we should do
about
on the podcast is Bone Talk.
that. Bone Tomahawk. That
I
was
don't
fun.
know about that.
Yeah. Well, if you made us watch this movie, we should make you sit through Bone Tomahawk. That's an uncomfortable movie to watch.
I have to watch
I'm
Toombad
uncomfortable just
still.
thinking about it.
Let's see. The Blair Witch sequel, which I know we talked about this. We did Terrifier. We saw it in theaters. You don't remember seeing it in theaters. Underrated sequel. Another legacy sequel to the Blair Witch Project. That was pretty good.
Okay.
Okay, we did. Anyway, so.
I didn't say anything.
The Boy.
Oh, yeah, I
seen
saw that.
Yeah, that's a you movie. I'm not surprised you saw it.
It's a boring movie.
wasn't boring.
Let's see. The Cabin Fever remake, which
boy have what's her face in it? Maggie.
Maggie from Walking Dead. Yep. Cabin Fever remake, which again that movie came out like 10 years prior. Why remake it? Also a not so good Stephen King movie with John Cusack and Samuel L. Jackson called Cell. The novel wasn't very good either. The Conjuring 2, pretty good. Great movie. Don't Breathe.
Phenomenal.
Which we've yet to cover.
Yes.
We should cover that at some point.
Talk about the best anti-hero.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that turkey baster.
Vile.
Another Blumhouse movie, 2016, Hush, one that you picked in your
I
draft
like that
from
one.
2010s. Lights Out, which was a movie that was made out of a short horror film.
Yes. Oh yeah. The short horror. That's a scary short. Have you seen that?
I've seen the short. I've never seen the full-length one.
Yeah, the short's
Lights
scary.
Out.
Because it couldn't be scarier than the short
that
film.
It's like someone in their bed and they keep turning the light on because they hear something, and it's like a stop motion kind of thing.
It's not stop. It's not stop. It's not stop motion.
I thought it was.
It is a girl laying in bed reading a book, and she sees someone standing like in her doorway, like the suggestion of a shadow. And as she turns the lights on and off, it keeps disappearing and reappearing, and then all of a sudden she just turns the light back on, and there's something like right next to her.
Yeah,
it's awesome. It's really good, really scary actually.
It's the
Gets you
boogeyman.
the first time you see it, it gets you.
Yeah.
The Neon Demon came out in 2016, which I believe you've seen, correct?
I like that movie.
Yep.
It's very good.
Ouija, Origin of Evil, which Kat,
sucks.
you've probably seen.
I think I have seen
It's
that
fucking
actually.
garbage. Absolute
Yeah, I
trash.
think I did see
Speaking of trash, this movie aspires to trash and achieves it. Phantasm Ravager, which is the fifth.
First off, have you seen Phantasm
No.
Ravager? So
I'm joking. That's a line
don't
from
say
Always Sunny in
anything.
Philadelphia,
I know.
okay?
Well, don't say it about a Phantasm movie that you haven't seen. I'm sure it's probably pretty good.
Okay, all right.
I'm going to watch it.
It's got.
and I will report back.
I think that's the last one that has Angus Scrim in it, correct?
Yeah,
and
it's
also
the tall
the
man.
last Phantasm movie. Angus Scrim's dead, right?
Yeah, he's been dead for years now, I think.
All right. We also got
With a
The
name like
Purge. The Purge Erection Year. Yep.
Erection?
Boner Year. Let's see. Raw, Andrew, a French film. So
Fantastic.
You love that. The category's about French phrases, so let's just skip it.
Skip it.
Movie that I thought initially I liked a lot more than I did, and it's a little overrated, is Split.
I like
With,
that.
I
movie.
like that
McAvoy.
movie. And I also liked Glass. So, talking
Yeah.
about liking trash movies,
I like
those are a few
those.
trash movies that I like.
We can talk about those.
I don't think I saw Glass.
We're not talking about those on the podcast.
Why?
Neither one matters.
Oh, they were good.
Train to Busan, which is a zombie movie.
Not seen that.
I haven't seen it either. I know Matt is a big fan of that movie, so unfortunately Matt is not here at the moment to comment on it. And obviously The Void, which just fucking rocks. That movie kicks so much fucking ass.
10 out of 10.
10 out of
baby.
10, baby. Go back and listen to our episode on The Void if you have not yet. And at this point, why don't we take a quick minute to pause for a quick word from our sponsors. We'll be back in 90 seconds.
It's official. The critics' decision is in.
Spooky World is spectacular.
Enter the new Black Hole.
If you dare.
Or the new horror House of Wax. This year, don't miss the real Jason, Bobby Pickett, or Alice Cooper. Phone the 24-hour Spooky World hotline. 508-838-0200. That's 508-838-0200. Spooky World is just west of Boston and haunts every night from October 1st till November 1st. If you had the nerve, you'd phone 508-838-0200.
It's America's horror theme park. Spooky World.
Don't be scared. I'm the super sweet monster with the super sweet new cereal, Count Chocula.
Biffle, here's the super sweet new cereal, Frankenberry.
But I've got chocolate sweeties for monstrous chocolate flavor.
Well, I got berry-flavored sweeties for monster strawberry flavor.
Count Chocula.
Frankenberry.
Hi.
Frankenberry.
Count Chocula.
Sleepy Clovers.
Alive! It's alive! It's alive!
The new face of evil is going to scare you to death. Barrett's Haunted Mansion. It's killer this year. Then right next door to the Abington Ale House. Barrett's Haunted Mansion. Eat, drink, and be scary. Go to bhmansion.com.
And we're back! All right. Is the Shallows worthy to talk about a few quick facts? Maybe we should, because we're still short of our hour runtime.
Really? I feel like we've been talking
Yeah,
way
I
too
feel
We're
much.
actually
talking
getting a
a
good
long
amount
time.
out of this, I would say, more than I thought we would. So this movie is directed by a guy named Kwame Colette Serra. I'll take one too, please.
Kwame Brown? Is that what you said?
Kwame.
How do you spell it?
Jaume.
Okay.
So he also directed the, I would say, underrated 2005 remake of House of Wax, which had
House of Wax.
Chad Michael Murray,
Cuthbert,
Alicia Cuthbert, Paris Hilton.
I love that
Talk
movie.
about
Yeah.
That's
that
it.
So
type of
he
movie.
directs these types of movies.
Okay, well that makes sense.
That's
He's
it.
also
Hot blonde chicks. Yeah.
he also he directed Orphan. Did you see Orphan?
That movie's actually awesome.
Okay,
I
never
love
seen
that
it.
movie.
I haven't seen it, but I know.
Oh, you should watch it. That's actually a surprisingly good movie.
Okay, fair enough.
Creepy.
And then he's also gone a little bit more mainstream lately, so you can see his career trajectory. He directed that Jungle Cruise movie with The Rock
Oh, yeah.
and Emily Blunt.
Craig saw that movie.
Yeah.
He wanted to watch that over The Northman, so that says a lot about Craig.
Oh my god! And he's also directing the forthcoming movie with The Rock, Black Adam, which is a DC movie where The Rock plays an anti. Oh, there's that. As I mentioned, this movie actually did pretty well at the box office. $17 million budget, $119 million return here.
It's pretty damn good.
Let's see what else.
Sex sells.
Critical response. Let's see, dude. Rotten Tomatoes, 78% approval based on 216 reviews.
That's not bad.
Is that by audience?
That is critics.
I don't like critics. Critics are annoying, and I'm not interested in their opinions.
Usually, so Rotten Tomatoes doesn't really. I prefer Metacritic. Usually, it's a little bit more accurate in terms of my tastes. Metacritic, the film has a score of 59 out of 100.
That sounds
based on
about
35 critics,
more right.
indicating quote mixed or average reviews. Which I would say this is a mixed to average film. Yeah.
Fair.
Yes.
I would agree with that.
Let's see. IGN gave the film 9 out of 10, noting The Shallows does for surfing what the Blair Witch Project did for camping and makes Jaws look like a children's tea party. Terrifying good. I want to hunt this person down and graffiti their house. Who wrote this?
The Jaws. Oh, wow. Can we?
Simon Thompson, you fucking dork. Who are you? Are you still employed at this website that I read daily? Still writing for this website. Are you still doing reviews? He reviewed Freaky. Let's see what he gave Freaky.
Oh, God.
Let's see what he gave Freaky.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
Come on, show me something.
Oh, I
Gave
bet you
Freaky an 8 out of 10. Great, he says. Oh, I hate this person. Let's see what else Simon Thompson has fucking written.
Just remember, we probably shouldn't name drop Simon Thompson.
He's a person that writes online about movies, and he has a name on here. So, whatever, dude. He's a movie critic. He can be open to criticism.
To say that Jaws is a
Children's tea party?
What is he, high?
Must be fucking 25 years old. You fucking loser. I can't. I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole. I will get
Thank you.
too angry.
Just in general, what's a more scary premise, Jaws or this?
Jaws, 1,000%.
Because it's taking on an entire
Oh, that makes me so angry.
village.
Hey, so here's a nice little thing. Blake Lively was pregnant with her second child during filming. So congrats to her and Ryan Reynolds.
I'm guessing she didn't do any of the surfing.
That kid's probably like 8 years
Actually,
old now.
I feel like when I was watching some of the surfing
She did
scenes,
not.
like, I could see that it was a double. Like, it was
Like
definitely
your
did
math
not look
is
like
way
her.
off. So that child was probably 8 years old now. 16, it was still not born.
It was
Sorry,
filmed.
6. So like 5 years old, maybe. Yeah, 5. Sorry.
Well, no,
math-
it was 16. It was filmed like probably your.
So
No,
let's say it was
you're
filmed in
probably
15.
right,
So,
actually.
okay. So
Not too bad. Fuck you.
math has never been my strong
Not that
suit.
you were sure. Not that that's what you were thinking.
No, it wasn't what I was thinking.
It's like Cat with the fan.
Let's see,
I
and
do
yes,
that.
to go off Kat's point here, because Kat keeps stepping on everything I'm trying to do for this episode.
Cat's episode.
Yeah,
Cat's
Blake Lively
episode.
only had a stunt double for the surfing scenes as she couldn't surf professionally. Quote, all I did was paddle, she recalled. Her surfing stunt double was professional Australian surfer, 19-year-old Isabella Nichols. There you go, Andrew. Look up her Instagram, I'm sure. She taught Blake how to paddle correctly, how to wax a board, and put a leg rope on, and fins in to make it look authentic. Andrew, you can go home and wax your board to Isabella Nichols later on.
Is that like a pearl necklace? What is that?
I don't know. Okay. Let's see. So yes, Blake Lively was not the one doing all the surfing. In
Clearly.
Yeah.
I assume she didn't know how to surf when I watched this movie.
Not at all surprised by
And then
that.
when the waves looked like they were from the movie Poseidon when they were coming in. It was like these terrible CGI waves. This is the fucking worst CGI I've ever seen in a movie made in 2000. I thought this movie came out in like 2009 when I watched it because I was like, the CGI is trash.
It's not great. Not great. Not great.
Yeah. Who's that?
That's her double.
Oh, I'll take Blake Lively over.
Isabella Nichols.
She's Australian.
Yeah,
I mean,
she's
she
a
kind of
professional
looks like
surfer.
she kind of looks like Blake Lively.
Yeah, but she's probably not scared of spiders, and that intimidates me.
Not scared of spiders.
Because she's from Australia, mate.
True.
You seen them big old buggers?
Big spiders down there.
Is it okay?
So
Do
hey,
I have to make an Australian accent?
so
or is that
wait, who's better looking in that couple? Ryan Reynolds or Blake Lively?
Ooh,
She looks like she might want to start wearing some sunblock because I think she's getting some melanoma spots. She might want to be careful. I'll take Ryan Reynolds in this scenario.
No fucking surprise there.
No, I'll take Blake Lively in that.
Ryan Reynolds is the bigger star. I'll say that. He's Deadpool.
He's also better looking if you compared if if you took the women's top 10 men of all time, Ryan Reynolds would probably be in there, right?
yeah.
Like best looking men.
Yeah, I'd probably
Would
say
Blake
Blake
Lively be
Lively's
in the
not
top
my
10?
top
She's
10,
like
yeah.
maybe top 20.
I mean,
But
they're
she's
both.
very
I
just
can't.
pretty.
from that.
They're
point.
both incredibly good looking and way better
we're
looking
splitting,
than me.
We're
so
splitting
that's-
hairs at this
So,
point.
yeah.
Yeah,
But
I
I'm
guess.
saying if you had to say who's better looking, Ryan Reynolds wins.
I mean, is there a
Wins.
hotter couple in Hollywood?
No, no,
I mean, Affleck and J Lo, maybe.
no,
I mean,
no.
Ryan
Who
Reynolds
else?
is 10 times better looking than Ben Affleck.
Absolutely.
well,
Ben Affleck
Affleck's
is
like
a
50 now.
yeah, but he's also
Ryan Reynolds is going to look good when he's 60.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Ben
probably.
Affleck has a bloated alcoholic face.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
not
yeah,
very
maybe.
attractive.
There's got to be a better looking couple.
I mean, who?
What about fucking...
Jessica Biel and JT.
No, what about little slutty Jennifer Fox?
Hate that.
Machine Gun Kelly.
Yeah, but she's...
Oh, dude, Machine Gun Kelly is a
no,
fucking method.
No, but it doesn't matter what he looks like because he's with Jennifer Fox. Or
Megan
is that her
Fox.
name? Megan Fox.
Jennifer Fox, Megan Fox. Don't even tell me like
Fox,
Kardashian,
Fox.
Pete Davidson, or any of that shit. Kylie Jenner and Travis
I don't
Barker.
like any of it. I don't like... No, but Megan Fox.
I mean, yeah, Megan Fox. So I'm gonna play Switzerland here or France, and I'm gonna say that I think that they're both gorgeous. But I'd say actually no, maybe Ryan
I don't
Reynolds is probably the
understand why
better
you're
looking.
playing Switzerland or France.
It's never mind. Anyway, so the seagull actually in the movie was a real seagull, Steven Seagal. His
Time
name
out
in real
real
life
quick.
is Sully.
Just so we know. Just so we're aware. You picked Ryan Reynolds. I picked Ryan Reynolds. She picked Blake Lively. Just so we're all aware of what just happened here.
Because it all seemed to be.
This is
in
very
line.
strange to me. The two men picked Ryan Reynolds.
I might pick Ryan Reynolds though.
I mean, I'm
can't.
a married man of 5 years. I'm comfortable enough in my sexuality to say that Ryan Reynolds is a good-looking guy. Sorry,
he
I don't
is.
feel like it's a hot take.
No, I think I'd
Yeah,
pick
but
Ryan Reynolds.
It's
too.
not like
He's
Blake
just-
Lively's chopped liver.
No, I'm not
No.
saying that she is. I'm not saying that she is. You were just
No.
saying that Ryan Reynolds is one of the top 10 best-looking men on earth.
He
I'm
has
saying,
to be.
yeah.
He
Okay.
has to be.
I'm
Absolutely.
saying Blake Lively is not.
Have
that.
you ever been to the grocery store and just glanced at the Us magazines that say top 10 hottest men, and it's just fucking Ryan Reynolds and Johnny Depp and Brad Pitt, and guys
Johnny
with the
Depp's,
same haircut.
Johnny Depp's gross. I don't understand. I mean, yeah, obviously.
Yeah, he
weird.
looks
Now
like a
he's in all
mannequin.
kinds of shit. I don't know. Anyway, let's get away from this fucking topic. So Steven Seagal, again, by the way, his name was Sully in real life. Sully, good dude. Got nominated for the Seagull Academy Award for Best Bird Actor in this for his Broken Wing. It's a lie. I made that up.
How far did Sully fly to get down there? He's from Boston,
Yeah, he's from
apparently.
Boston, right?
From
Ryan
Sully,
Reynolds
he's
is
a
number
seagull.
6.
Okay, good. See, there's Kat on her phone, not paying attention to anything that we say.
Well, that was actually kind of relevant.
Actually, guess who is number 7?
Bradley Cooper?
Yes. Oh,
okay.
good
There's
job,
Blake
Mike.
Lively on that list.
No.
This is men that she's looking
Well,
for.
you could do the opposite.
Andrew's like, share that with me after we're done recording.
already got him on
Hey,
the
so
phone.
Sully the Seagull, by the way, is still alive to this day, and he lives in a seagull sanctuary in Australia. Speaking of Australia, lots of buggers down there.
Down under.
2 extra seagulls were used to portray Steven Seagal in the movie, so there were 3 total seagulls. That they
I
brought
never
from the,
knew that
sanctuary.
seagulls had stand-ins.
Seagulls, yes,
This is
apparently.
wild.
Yeah, kind of wild. So
Isn't this wild news?
must have been trained seagulls. Trained Steven
That'd be like
Seagulls.
training Otis.
Yeah,
I feel like I don't know what's harder, training Otis or a seagull.
Otis, for sure. I would at least the seagull. I mean, they're both motivated by food, so I don't really know how it's gonna work. Yeah. All right, so we're losing Kat here on her own movie podcast because
I
she's
just
on
don't
her
get
phone.
how
So
Ryan Gosling is even on. I think he's
Oh,
not.
Ryan Gosling
No.
is my man crush.
No.
So.
He's number 5, and Zac
As he should
Efron's
be.
13.
Ryan Gosling's way better looking than Zac Efron.
Dude, Gosling's a stud.
Gosling is
Pharrell
have you
is
seen,
number 10.
So you know there's a new Ken and Barbie movie?
And who's
No.
playing Ken is Ryan Gosling.
Look up the pictures. It's
I
funny.
will.
It's
I will.
kind
And
of
Barbie's Margot Robbie, which that makes all the sense in the
Margot
world.
Robbie, yeah.
Yeah,
She should play
she's
Barbie
smoking hot.
and
She should play every female role
Harley
ever from
Quinn.
the rest of the world.
Her Harley Quinn is.
She's great. Just a fantastic actress with tons of charisma and
I
personality.
think Ryan Gosling is not that attractive.
Yeah, I
You're
don't understand.
insane.
Anyway, Ryan Gosling, by the way, fun fact, was in an episode of Are You Afraid of the Dark back in the 90s. Sure was.
Certainly was.
Anything else we want to talk about in relation to The Shallows, you guys? Because I feel like we're getting off the rails here, and I'm losing everyone's
The
attention.
reason we're getting off the rails here is because there's nothing left to talk about with this garbage movie. So
I had a feeling we
Let's
would
end it.
struggle to talk about lots of things here, so I tried to bring in some outside topics, which is why we've divulged into hot men and hot women and debates about
but
that.
that's right on topic with this movie. So
Correct. That's
Yes.
This
correct.
is not a movie.
He's not wrong.
It is a perfume commercial
Perfume commercial.
that goes wrong, and
Parfum.
everyone gets eaten.
Yes.
And
Kat.
in the end, it wraps up nicely with her going to surfing with her sister, and she finishes med school, and she's her dad, and it has that happy, warm, fuzzy at the end.
Also, I know people make that sound like
Yeah.
you're fucking insane. You're not courageous. You're an insane person. After you just got stranded on a rock for
A year
oh,
later.
and then you're like a year later. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go back into the ocean
In
with
Texas,
all these
though.
terrifying. There's still sharks down there.
Yeah, actually, there might be even more dangerous sharks.
That's in the
Texas.
Gulf of Mexico.
There's
Yeah.
bull sharks and tiger sharks
Yeah.
down there, which are way
No
more
thanks.
aggressive towards humans.
No thanks. If I would be like, you know what? You're right. God up there. Yep. You said don't go in the ocean. I'm not gonna go back in
Not
there.
doing it.
To just tempt fate like that.
Yeah, I would say this, in relation to this movie, sharks are awesome. This movie, not awesome. Okay. The end. Andrew.
Good evening. I already said my final piece.
Perfect way
said
to
my-
perfect way to end the podcast.
Good evening. I've already said my final piece.
All right. Well,
yeah, the
hey,
movie smells. I'm aware.
thanks for bearing with our
Thanks for
divergences
stopping
here,
by.
and thanks for stopping by. I'm Veronica Corningstone. Thanks for stopping by. But mostly, stay classy. Stay classy. Stay classy. I'm Ron Burgundy. Adios,
A
muchacho.
whale?
Anyway, if you're listening, hey, guess what? Wherever you're listening right now, that's where you can find us next week. We're on Apple, Google, Spotify, Amazon, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Spreaker, many, many other places. Thanks for stopping by, but mostly stay classy, and good evening.
Oh, are we making it into a song?
Good evening.
Adios,
baby.
muchachos.
Good evening.
Oh, man, every one of my burps smells like death.
Hey everyone, it's Mike from America's Hometown Horror, and just wanted to say thank you again for listening to another episode of our show, because of course, we would be nothing without you listeners. If you are interested in more local Plymouth podcasts, I would highly recommend you check out some shows by our cohorts on the Inebriart Podcast Network. That's right, the Inebriart Podcast Network, folks. In addition to America's Hometown Horror, you can find the Inebriart Podcast, Bar Talk, Theme Park Legends, Retro Redoctopus, and Old Colony Cast. Head on over and give them a listen.